Oh, evening, everybody. I've mentioned this a few times, but we have to build a house in our backyard. Currently, we live in a little green rectangle here out front, and we have this property behind with an old house on it that needs to be torn down and rebuilt. And so, of course, as I'm designing this house, I'm thinking about a future layout space. And what my son suggested, actually, I was thinking basement. But my son suggested, what about up in the attic? And so I thought I'd have a go at that. And basically, our house would be pretty much all on one floor here. And then upstairs would be just a triangular kind of long space, which, is kind of perfect for a layout. Triangle, not so much, but the long space, definitely. Anyway, I'd been drawing these things, different house designs, whatever else, but kind of thinking this one's pretty cool. So I figured I would show you guys and get your thoughts on it. One thing I did do a bit of research on that's always intrigued me is these mushroom designs. Wasn't too sure how they worked and, what the benefit was. But I think after you see this one, you'll kind of, come around to the idea of them. I think they're pretty cool. And I'll just show you some of the features of this design that I came up with. So I'll zoom in, and I'm loosely basing this on the kind of the Hamilton area, Dundas Sub, Bayview Junction, Guelph Junction kind of area, possibly even going out to like Welland Canal, Niagara bound. What I do like about this one is it actually has 4 branch lines, and then one kind of main line that can go all over all 3 levels, and staging as well underneath. So yeah, there's a lot of modeling opportunities and possibilities. So I'll just give you the once around here so you get your bearings and stuff. So I got these guys here. These are the SketchUp guys. They're probably 6 feet tall, I think. So this would be the entrance to the layout here. And just briefly, this is the kind of mushroom looking thing here. So it kind of platforms out at I think it's like 6'3" from the floor to the bottom of this guy here. So there's plenty of clearance for me. And most guests, I guess, would be able to fit under there no problem. Might be a bit weird having that hanging over your head, but, needs must, right? So what we're looking at here is an entranceway. You can go down the left side. This would be my industrial line in Hamilton. So 2 areas would be like Pier 10 to Pier 12. And then this is out by the QEW here, the long kind of, what do they got? They got G3 out there. They got grain. They got asphalt. And they got other things. So bulk carriers come along this one. And then back behind it, you can't see yet, is a kind of P&H and Bunge and some, actually there's a lot of gas and diesel and stuff as well there, gasoline and diesel, as well as Heddle Marine as well as there. So they do large plates of steel and stuff, plate steel. So there's lots of interest in that area. So I definitely wanted to model that. This kind of like plywoody color right here is kind of the main area that's all connected. So up top, there's lots of real estate up here to do things with. And this is kind of just getting you around to the different levels. So what I've got is I got stairs leading up, and at the top step, the track is going underneath the top step. So you go up 1 step and then you go back down onto the level up above. So if I can show you that. So there's the little tunnel thing there. So you're actually going up an extra step and then down half a step. All right. And then this is my way of kind of making a continuous running loop. You actually walk up in between the layout here. So you do wrap around and keep continuous running going. You won't be able to reach this except for being on a ladder, I guess. But yeah, it keeps this upper deck being able to be continuous running. All right, so more continuous running up the upper deck. It's just a big loop. There's lots of modeling opportunities on the top deck. One thing though, you do have to watch your head. So there's the 6-foot guy, and there's the space. So if you lean forward, you will bang your head. So you got to be careful with that. Probably would never end up making it this wide or this deep, just to keep people from doing that. But you could go right up to the 45-degree angle. This roof is at a 45-degree angle. So yeah, it might be showing a little bit too much more than what I would actually get out of this, but whatever. This is SketchUp. We'll see what reality looks like. Okay, so the other area, the orange area is the Pier 10, like Pier 13 kind of area of Hamilton. This is the nitty-gritty stuff right here. This would be all the rail cars showing up alongside the piers with all the bulk carriers and everything else. And then this is where the branch line would start. So this would be the industrial branch coming off of, I guess, probably have to be Stewart Yard, somewhere around here, just to kind of give you an idea. And then it goes into like kind of single track, getting you over there, and then it branches out again. So that's one branch line. This green branch line, I have no idea what I would do with it yet, but it's probably about 40 feet long. I'll just measure that. So that there is 30 feet. Yeah, it's about 40 feet long. That's a pretty good branch line. You can do lots of cool things along that green area there. And that is a dead end at the moment. So this would probably be a lift bridge right here, this little hourglass shape. The other side obviously doesn't have a lift bridge, so that's how you walk into this area here. This area would be my office and workbench, and then this would all be glazed so you can look out at the forest. We border on the Niagara Escarpment, so this kind of goes straight up. Well, not straight up, but it goes up into the forest, so it's a beautiful view from back here. Great place to work. Oh, fantastic place to work. So that's kind of why I'm really keen on this zone being my workspace. Okay, so how do we get up to the upper levels? Right now I have not drawn a helix at all. Getting down to staging, there would be a helix below in this cavity here. I don't know how far down it would go, but probably a couple laps of a helix would get you to staging in the center pod underneath the platform, and you could access that all the way around, possibly even having some scenic external stuff. So maybe 4 or 5 inches of scenic all the way around the black here, and in the core just have staging tracks both sides. Probably fit 12 staging tracks underneath there. And I think this thing is like 6 feet wide. Let's test it out. What is it? Yeah, it's actually 4'8". So it's enough to do a turn. It'd be a tight turn. I could actually bump this out and narrow these side aisles. These could go narrow right here, and this could get a big bulge. That's another option there to get a 6-foot radius or a 6-foot diameter corner there. Okay, so how do we get up? Starting right here, I've built a ramp. So it's a long ramp starting here, and it kind of goes up. This is probably a 2.5 to 3% grade. And it basically levels out at the second level right here where the divide between the red and the blue is. So that gets you up to the second deck, and the second deck is basically branch line, depending on which direction you go. There would have to be some kind of like a transfer, small 3-track transfer yard here. And then this could be run by one branch line, another branch line, or the same branch line runs them both. And then, not too much real estate on this second level, but still interesting enough. Both of those branch lines do dead end. They don't go anywhere. And then if you continue on up the grade, kind of making this the sky and this the escarpment kind of coming up. And then you do wrap around the interior of this guy, and you reach the top deck by this point. So this is where you reach the level here, and then you have to go around to go back down. So reaching this, you got all the way around, you got continuous running up here, and then I don't know if I actually have the ability. I haven't done the ability to actually do a reversing loop up here, which would be good to kind of get back down. I have to figure that out. I'm sure there's real estate up here I could do. I could even do that right here. Just cover some of this in and do a reversing loop in one of the corners, or even on the other side. But anyway, that's how I'm going to get up. I don't really like helices. I hate watching the trains go around in circles. It drives me crazy. That's why I would probably only reserve it for this area here where I can't even see it. It doesn't bother me. But I'd much prefer to scenic a nice long grade, kind of a sinuous snaking kind of thing. Like in my backyard is the CN main line, and that's kind of what it does up the escarpment, double track. So I would try to mimic that with all the different bridges and culverts and whatever else as interest along the way. So not too much industry or anything along this, mainly just hillside. So just a long slog up the hill, which I think would be kind of cool to model. What else can I show you? Yeah, so basically you can walk all the way inside the platform here. Obviously dead ends here. I did have this bumped out a little bit more, kind of as an overhang overlooking the industrial area. But overall, a very nice long main line, and lots of opportunities to kind of exchange cars and you know, different what do you call them? Different people doing different things throughout. Could be kind of interesting to actually run and yeah, so it would be loosely based on the Hamilton area. And yeah, so I don't know. Let me know what your thoughts are on this thing. This is early days. Anything can change. But I just wanted to share my thoughts on what I've come up with. Anyway, take care. More videos to come.